gamers, welcome back to another Tuesday night stream. It's me, your boy, JTV Live, back with some more Planet Coaster 2. Hopefully the internet cooperates. If you guys were here during the countdown, you might have noticed it was being a little funky. It kept dipping into the red like during the countdown screen. That's why the countdown lasted so long. And of course we hit I think we hit 12 viewers during when the internet was messing up, so that's always awesome when that happens. But the internet seems to be doing fine now, so fingers crossed, knock on wood. We're praying that it does well. But I have something exciting tonight for you guys. Normally we would be working on our pumpkin patch park, which is almost done, by the way. I think we have enough room for like one coaster, like maybe one more coaster, and then it's just a matter of figuring out the water park. But we're almost done with that park, so that's very exciting. But for tonight, I have been working in the background, completely off stream. I have been working on this Western themed mega park for about, I think I started working on it in like May, springtime. I started working on this in springtime, and it is finally finished. I've completely done it. It is fully themed, fully lit, fully soundtracked, all of that kind of stuff. It is at the point where the last thing I built was a restaurant, and the game kept crashing while I was building the restaurant. So I literally don't think I could possibly fit anything else into this park. So I've been working on this for a long time, and I haven't shown any of it on stream until tonight, gamers. And that park is Silverwood Springs. I got it loaded up right here. I also posted it on the workshop, so if you want to explore it yourself, either along with me or after the stream, you can find a link to it and also the share code down in the description below. It says check out this park for yourself. It's very easy to find. Highly recommend you download it and view it for yourself. If there's some things you wanted to spend extra time looking at, some stuff I kind of glaze over that you want to go back and check, definitely feel free to do that. And of course, we had music that was very vibrant and colorful, and as soon as I click into the game, there is no music, and it is dead silent. This is going super well. I love this. So the plan for how we're going to show this off, for the last park we did, it was the Tropical Islands Resort indoor water park theme park that we built. And for that one, since most of it was just the path leading to the resort, we decided to do that as more of like a flyover. Whereas with this park, since I did a lot more granular theming and a lot more like park or guest experience style theming, I think it would be better to do a full walkthrough. So I'm going to do a kind of a flyover, sort of explaining every individual area, and then we're going to go through it. And actually, yeah, we'll keep it like that. So as you can see, actually, that's actually a great time to see when I started working on this park, because I started working on this park the day that the Western theme came out. So if I look up Planet Coaster Western theme release date, and I need to do Planet Coaster 2. Allow. March. So I started working on this park in March. So off and on, in addition to like the on-stream projects we've had going on, I've had this park brewing in the background. And as you can see by these first buildings down here, these were the first Western buildings I ever built. And you'll see how far we've come. But I do want to start out just how funny this entrance is to the rest of the park. So one thing I'm going to do, just to make it a little bit easier, is I'm going to go to the button sensitivity. I'm going to lower that. Cool. So as we fly through here, this is the first area we built. We've got the Wallace's General Store taken straight out of Red Dead 2. I built this great little entry fountain area here. I like theme parks that start with a water feature. I grew up going to Hershey Park, and they have a I don't know if it's still there, but they used to have a really cool fountain walking in, like very naturalistic kind of thing. Over here we've got, these are replicas of the buildings in Frontierland at Disney World. You can also see there's a roller coaster back here called Mountaineer, which we'll ride when we do the full walkthrough. This coaster is actually really cool. I'll go ahead and kind of show you in here. It has these themed trains. They're themed to be like sort of covered wagons. And the roller coaster it's one launch only. It launches you all the way up to the top of the mountain up here. You can kind of see it going there, and then it brings you all the way back down. So quite an exciting exploratory coaster. Then moving further on, we've got this Schwarzkopf style family coaster right over here. Pretty mild. There's 2 family coasters in the park. I like to make sure that everybody has something to do. And so this is the first one, and it is called Spruce Mountain Mine Train. And you can see it's pretty fun, pretty simple. Over here, we've got, this is a replica of the train station also from Red Dead 2. This is the one in Valentine. And this is an actual train station. And this train takes you all the way through the mountains to the other side of the park. And then back through the wheat fields that we'll see later on. But moving on, we've got this big coaster here. This is a Giga coaster called Nimbus. And then over here, this is the final restaurant that I built. The game was crashing as I was building it, so it's pretty simple. But over here, this is one of my favorite areas. This is Gold Rush. It is a Intamin Blitz coaster. And you can see it back here. You can see Beyond Vertical reverse spike here, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. And then this super awesome themed Sky Swing ride here. And this ride you can find on the Frontier Workshop. All of the buildings in this park and all of the flat rides you can find on the Frontier Workshop. Highly recommend you go check those out. Link down in the description below. Put them in your park. Feel free to use them however you see fit. But I'm very happy with how this area came out. You can kind of... Hold on, sorry, I'm getting text from my dad. Okay, I was just... Make sure that wasn't important. And you can kind of hear the soundtrack I have going on. And then moving over here, we've got another family coaster here. And then this is another really cool themed area. This is around this Axis thrill coaster here called the Cursed Mine. You can kind of see it moving. Hopefully we'll get one coming through here. And also this really cool launch freefall ride that I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Hold on, I want to see it. I want to, because it's a really cool effect I have since it's an Axis design. I think I hear it coming. There it is. Also, the music is out of sync. That is a glitch that I don't know when that happened. I think it happened with the I don't know if it happened with the latest update or if it just sort of started happening, but just pretend all the music is in sync because it was. Coming over here, we have our first water park area. There are 2 main water park areas in this park, and this is the first one, kind of a just big slide tower on this little mountain here, and then this lovely pool with a great view looking out over the lake here. Just great view of the coasters and the train here. So I'm very happy with how all this came out. And over here we have a B&M floorless coaster called Storm Rider, which I think it actually, what I really like about this is I think it frames the park very well. Like, it adds, there's some nice sort of symmetry with this mountain and this coaster here. So I like how it looks in context as well. A lot of you who have watched previous streams of ours might recognize the Horse Iron Grill from the Boardwalk Park, repurposed here as a lovely little riverside eatery. Oops, I didn't mean to jump quite so hard. Also, I don't know if this is a glitch with just like I have too many things in this park, but I've noticed my janitors just don't do anything. I have an ungodly amount of janitors in this park, and everything is constantly dirty. Like, I guarantee that at least 3 of these 6 notifications I have are going to be bathrooms that need cleaned. Bathroom, bathroom, bath. Look. What did I say? Hold on. Let me just quickly do this. Hopefully, this shouldn't spoil too much. And then back over here. Ah. Oh no, I fucked up the buttons. Okay. And then in about 3 minutes, all three of those notifications will appear and it will be the exact same bathroom. So I don't really know what's going on with that. And this is the only park I had that problem with. I don't know if this park is like too widespread, if there's not enough staff buildings, but I have like staff needs turned off. So I don't know what the issue is. But back to the park tour. Also, let me drink some water. My mouth's getting a little dry. This is a pretty good shot. Stay hydrated, gamers. So I'll go ahead and zoom out here. Moving along this path here, this is just kind of like a long nature walkway. The idea is that you would be using the train to get between the concept I was working with when I designed this park is I kind of wanted to treat this mountain range as like a barrier between like a distinct front half of the park and back half of the park, almost like they were two different towns with the train running between them. So that's kind of why there's like this weird long separation between the two. What's up, Char Char? Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. It's been 9 months almost. No, 11. It's been, let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's been 8 months in the making. And obviously I haven't been working on it nonstop through those 8 months. We've had other park projects. I mean, if I just do this real quick, just to show you, like, there's a lot of other things that I've been working on top of this, but yeah, I'm very, very happy with how it came out. And you have no idea how happy I am to finally be done with this park and not have to come back in and do theming again. I've been doing final touches on this park for like 2 months, so I'm very happy to be done with that. So coming along this river down here, moving past the sort of nature walkway, we've got these 2 roller coasters here. One is this sort of compact, intimate, compact Vekoma suspended looping coaster over here called the Raven. And then over here we've got Bobcat, which is this really cool wooden terrain coaster. I love a good terrain coaster. I had to do at least one. Then coming over here, this is probably my favorite section of the park. I just like the aesthetics of it. We've got this big sort of open farmland prairie kind of vibe with this flying coaster over top of it. And you can see I have like this cool farmhouse here, this stable restaurant down here, a nice eatery, and then a nice barn station. And then once again, the wheat field included. The wheat field, the buildings, all of the stuff in this park are available on the Frontier Workshop. Link down in the description below. If you play Planet Coaster 2 and you see something you want to add in your park, you can go find it and feel free to add it in your park. I plug that as much as I can. And coming back over here, we've got more of just like, and you can see the train coming through here. We've got more just walkway. I was gonna put like buildings and stuff here, but as I said, this park is like completely at capacity. It was crashing constantly as I was doing the final touches, so I think we're at max. But coming over here, we've got this sort of gold rush town down here with this big hybrid. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word hybrid. My brain got stuck on hyper. We've got this big hybrid wooden coaster over here. Also, I'm gonna grab a beanie. My hair is falling out. Ugh. What's that? A hat? Crazy, funky, junky hat. Overslept, hair unsightly, trying to look like Keira Knightley. We've been there. We've done that. We see right through your funky hat. That's a little Wizards of Waverly Place reference for all of you 2000s gamers out there. Feel free to clip that. So we've got this big hybrid wooden coaster. And then this is the second water park area. And this, just aesthetically, ignoring the slides themselves, this looks really dope up here on this mountain. Especially coming, like, you come off the train station right here, and then you look over, and it's just this big mountain of water slides. And we've got a big family raft slide with some fun use of the glass flumes. And then also this triple racing raft slide. And we will ride all of those, of course. So, and then you can see the train coming down here. And also, this may look insane, this big ass train helix here. I kind of did this out of necessity because it was I wanted the train to go over top of the mountain just to kind of give the illusion of it like traveling more than it actually is. But in order to do that, I had to get it from up here to down here and not a lot of space. And so I did this thing, and this may seem ridiculous, but this actually exists in real life. This is, if you look it up, I believe it's in Sweden, either Sweden or Switzerland, but there is like a big train track helix that does this for the exact same reason. So that's a fun little touch there. But yeah, that's the basic flyover. Sorry, I don't know why I'm so out of breath today. I'm not used to talking this rapid fire and this quickly, but that's the basic flyover of kind of the whole park, and I'll kind of do just some big sweeping parks. And now what we'll move on to is we'll do a full walkthrough, because all of the roller coasters have themed queues and roller coaster signs and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I want to make sure we get the full experience, and the best way to do that is going to be through a first person walkthrough. So I'll just do this nice sweeping over shot as we move back towards the front of the park. All right. I'm going to place myself. Ah! Hi! All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Silverwood City. Beautiful, beautiful place here. And fun fact about this general store here, it actually is a general store. You can go in here, buy all your gift shop needs. And we also got some beautiful photos of the park here on the walls, and then a little hidden restroom, because I think that might be one of the problems I'm having with all the restrooms being dirty, is that there simply isn't enough of them. So I also built another restroom in here, and then there's another one hidden in this big yellow building. So first of all, give a little look at this fountain. I'm pretty happy with how this came out. But moving to our first roller coaster, this is Mountaineer. Like I said, it's a hydraulic launch coaster. 0 to, I believe I made it 105 miles an hour. Lots of good positive G's, good length, whole lot of fun. And it's what I would call an expedition coaster, because the main point of the coaster is less about like records or big loops, big hills, while there are those. It's more about going from point A to point B and then back again. It's a coaster that takes you on a journey. You can also see just a fun little queue. I tried to theme it kind of like a on-the-go camp, keeping with like the mountaineering themes. We got like wagons, little campfire scene over here, tent, some luggage. And you can also hear like horse noises and stuff with some ambiance that I got going on. So this is Mountaineer. We'll go ahead and hop right on. And I'll give a closer look of the coaster train at the end. And then, for all the POVs, I like to disappear, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Frame rate's gonna be pretty wild during most of the POVs in this park, just FYI gamers. My PC's doing a lot right now. Also, because of how long this coaster is, we do sit there for quite a bit. Sorry, I fat fingered the mute. I don't know why this person is so fucking terrified. They Frontier. Hold on, I'm gonna be visible again for this. Frontier. No, I'll save this for the end. Sorry. All right, I'm coming back for this. Frontier, I'm going full screen so you know I'm serious. I have said this 1,000 fucking times, and I know for a fact that I am not the only Planet Coaster content creator who has had this complaint. I have heard this complaint since like 2016. Wait, I think that's when the game came. I've heard this complaint since like 2018 with Planet Coaster 1. Please, for the love of God, somebody get to Frontier and tell them they need to add an option to get rid of the stupid bullshit of the guest constantly covering the camera with their stupid hands. What is the purpose of that? There is no reason to have that. I can't imagine being a non-content creator playing this game and appreciating that feature. I know for a fact there's not a single content creator on this platform or any platform that enjoys that as a feature. The fact that you kept it from Planet Coaster 1 and still have not given us an option to turn off the guests covering their face for the entirety of the whole coaster for no reason is absolutely ridiculous, completely unacceptable. The amount of updates and free patches and content that you have put into this game, and there's still no way for me to turn that off. Just make it a toggle. It can't be that hard. It can't be that hard. I refuse to believe it's that hard. All right. Anyway, that's my rant. Ones in the chat if you agree with me. I can't be the only person who feels this way. It is completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. And so what? Oops. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna ride that coaster again, and we're gonna just close it. Don't block station. Any load. And this is the best way to ride it without any sort of mess ups. It's not working. There we go. All right. Whew, rant over. So now, in theory, we should have nobody on the coaster with us. Gosh, I'm hot. I'm hot now. Now I need to take off my beanie. I'm gonna find a thinner hat. All right, gamers. I'm back. I went and put some product in my hair, so hopefully it doesn't keep falling into my face. But that felt really good. I feel really pleased with myself. I even if nobody agrees with the rant I just went on, I agree with it, and I needed to get that out of my system. So I feel really good about that. Moving on. Sorry, I'm like looking over at no theming. These are what I really want to show off. I'm very proud of how these buildings came out. And these are also on the Frontier Workshop as well. And you can also see in here, it's an actual restaurant. I wish it was lit a little better, but I'm not good at designing the interiors. I kind of just view them as more form over function. But even so, from the outside, looks pretty tight. And that's all that really matters. So moving down onto the park. Sorry, I love the way the sky swing looks. Like, you could see it from so many different points in the park, and I think it's a very aesthetically pleasing ride. We'll move on to Spruce Mountain Mine Train. I think I can just... Damn it. I thought I could be cheeky. There we go. Just, excuse me, I have pass. I have the pass. I have the awesome pass. Excuse me. Oh, also, these little lampposts, I repurposed these from the Farmland Fiasco Park and just replaced the, like, modern lamp that they had on it with this lantern thing. What's up, JP? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Hope your week's off to a good start. Go ahead. Nothing really exciting with the theming of the coaster, but I'll go ahead and hop in. All right, hopefully we don't got hands in our face the whole time. Bit of autosave lag. And then I think oh no, we keep moving. I was gonna say, I think we might stay here for a while, but pretty simple, straight to the point, little Schwarzkopf family coaster here. Gotta add balance to the park, you know, especially coming right in. Gotta give something for everybody. You got your insane launch thrill coaster right there, and then your nice, lovely little family coaster. So, continuing to move down the line, I'll kind of sprint past where we're going here. This is also one of the first Western buildings I have. I still use this in a lot of my parks. Usually when I add it nowadays, I add a little bit of extra theming and props to it. But for one of my first Western buildings, it's not too bad, not too shabby. And then you can see these are the buildings where I started to run out of ideas. So I was kind of just like getting the shape right and being like, yeah, that fits. Coming over here, we got Nimbus, your classic Intamin Giga coaster. And also, I'm very happy with this coaster sign here. I use the custom color rocks as to kind of mimic the look of clouds. They do have cloud props in the game, but none of them kind of had like the thick poofiness of like Nimbus clouds that I was looking for. So I just used the rocks, and I think it sells. I think the illusion works. So we'll go ahead and just mosey on through here. Also, I gotta say, if anybody who's seen my other park showcases will know how often I use these pieces, but these little tropical building trim pieces are so versatile. I use them constantly. They work as great as like building trim. You'll see them a lot. I use them a lot as like, if I have a balcony over water, I'll use them as like the support for the balcony. They add a nice little flare. You can see I'm using them right here as the base of this dinky little building here. So if you're not using those in your builds, I highly recommend it. They're very, very good. But, oh, perfect. Train just got here. I'm not talking the band. Boom. Not to like pat myself on the back or anything, but I'm very happy with the roller coasters in this park. I don't think there's a single roller coaster in this. Sorry, I had to get my cursor off my other monitor. That way I don't accidentally click stop streaming. I'm very happy with pretty much every coaster in this park. I don't think there's a single one that I'm even iffy on. I tried very hard to make sure that everything in this park was up to a particular level of quality. That way there wasn't anything that seemed super out of place. Ignore those buildings that we passed. But moving down over here, we've got this lovely little lakeside restaurant. You can again see the tropical trim pieces that I used as the balcony border. All right, there's a train coming, so we'll get out of the way. But pretty nice. Nice little balance of a nice outdoor eating area. That's what you want in a good park. You got to have your outdoor eating zones. Eating zone. That doesn't, like, that's right, but that doesn't sound like something normal people would say. Anyway, moving on to Gold Rush. This is a Intamin Blitz coaster themed to obviously gold mining. You can see this great little entry plaza here, and the coaster itself is right back here. So we'll go ahead and take the cue. Ignore the out of sync shit. I fat fingered right click. But that's fine. We can just click ourselves right here. Yeah. So this is the queue building. Moving on through, you come out the door back here. And you got one last little wrap around. Damn it, I did it again! Sorry, I have twitchy fingers. I remember when I used to play Apex Legends on stream, I was constantly shooting randomly at nothing and scaring the crap out of me and my teammates. Because my stupid twitchy little fingers kept hitting shoot. Alright, we'll hop on Gold Rush. And I'll just do this to Speed through it a bit. All right. And I will disappear. Okay. Ah! Ah! Sorry, gamers, I panicked. All right, we picked the wrong train to be on because now we're going to sit here for a while waiting for the other coaster to get through the second half. This coaster really only works if you're riding in train 1 or train 3, and I'm guessing we're in train 2. And right back into the station. What do we think, gamers? I would ride it. I would. And also, you can kind of see it poking through the trees up there, but that beyond vertical spike is crazy. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. I had to get the cursor off of my second monitor. This park is amazing. Thanks, JP. Might be. It is a little too fast, but we ignored that. You can see these lovely pictures here. Look at how much fun everybody's having. Everyone's having a great time. Then exit through the big metal doors. So that is Gold Rush. We'll give one last little peek. And then I want to see... Music's a bit overwhelming, so I'll just mute the desktop audio for you guys. But I want to see if we can see a coaster going up that spike. I believe it's 110 degrees is when I made it. Maybe not that much. I don't think I put it over 100 from what I remember, but I want to see if we can see a train go up it. And also watch the access coaster move over the park. I saw one leaving the station, so it should be any second now. Okay, I just heard one leave the station. There it goes. That's pretty fun. Yeah, the game's gonna be laggy, JP. There's a lot going on in this park. It's laggy off stream, so I can't imagine what it is, but it's all right. We got to deal with it. Oh, here comes the Axis coaster. Really, really fun. So I think we'll go straight to this little family coaster. I'll build anticipation for the Cursed Mine. And not to build up hype too much, but the Cursed Mine, unironically, is probably my best themed coaster. The Crypt coaster that we're working on for the Pumpkin Patch Park, that might be a little better. Or at least as good, but this one, Cursed Mine's probably my best coaster. But I'm not gonna do that right away. We're gonna ride this fun little family coaster to start out with. Okay. Sorry, I had to get my cursor back. So I forgot what I named this. Oh yeah, Forest Flyer. I love these family coasters. I'm gonna disappear. I don't know how popular these are amongst enthusiasts, but as an enthusiast myself, I'm a big fan of these fun little family coasters. I think they're fun. I think they're cool. They're a good time. Short, sweet, to the point. Exactly what a family coaster should be. At least in my opinion. I mean, it is fun to have a long family coaster, but I usually make longer family launch coasters. Damn it. I always forget to bring my... I always forget to bring my coaster back, or my cursor back onto my main screen, so I'm not highlighting chat because I'm clicking off screen. Alright. Let's move into the cursed mine. Usually I blaze past flat rides, so if you want to ride this themed launch drop tower, I don't know why I can't think of words tonight. If you want to ride this themed launch drop tower, both the tower itself, the blueprint, is on the Frontier Workshop link down below, or you can download this entire park, explore it yourself, ride all the rides. The music's a little out of sync because there's a lot of different music pieces going on, so apologies for how terrible that sounds, but I promise it wasn't like that a week ago. It's a new glitch, and I've tried everything to fix it, but we'll have to assume. The reason I haven't deleted all of the speakers and stuff is because I'm going to assume that if people download the park themselves, they will be in sync, fingers crossed. So, hopefully you guys will have better luck with the music. But this is the Cursed Mine, a themed drop coaster. And also, I'm going to do this for you guys real quick. Where's park music? Since it's all gonna be out of sync anyway, just know that there is music and that it's really cool. I'll use this pause here to say this one will probably ride multiple times because this is one that has some good off-ride shots. So we'll probably do an orbit ride through and maybe a chase ride through. The code is down in the description below, JP. There's a code and also a link to it in the stream description. and right back into the station. So now that we've got that, I'll come back visible for this. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pop right here, and we're gonna do a little orbit run through. That way I can kind of explain how the ride works as we ride through it, because it's really quite cool. So as you can see, it's essentially the Seven Dwarves swinging mine train coaster. So then you come through here, the track drops down above us. Oops. So now we flip up like this. And then I just want to show you how tight this maneuver is. So we come from being level under here, flip up here, and then the track rotates around, so that way you're on top of it again. So it is quite the maneuver. You can't quite see. So then this block zone serves as a great opportunity to like level out both of the cars before doing this vertical drop here into this tunnel. Then coming out. This, a lot of great hang time coming through there. This is definitely not Seven Dwarves Mine Train. This is definitively a thrill coaster. I love this dive through here. Any opportunity to have little head chopper moments. Then really tight helix. I think you hit like 3.8 there. I probably should widen it out a bit. But this was the hardest maneuver to make because I wanted it to fully flip over. Because you can kind of see as it's coming through here, it's not quite level, but I wanted it to be perfectly level before it came out to really kind of get the illusion of it being moved along. Come up here. Moving down. Coming up. And the last thing I want to show off is as it comes through here. I would love a slow-mo option in this game. That'd probably be pretty hard to implement, but that would be really cool. Nice little twisted double up. And this is a dive loop. Sorry, let me get a level. Come down here. And then this fun little area. Let's see if you can actually see it. I built this big, colorful, rock pillar here in the center. And then you exit through a little waterfall here. So, lots of fun little theming moments. Just kind of loading the map and it's kind of lagging. What probably doesn't help is that I have the, I mean, that's probably what it is I have the guest limit turned up because of how big this park is. If I didn't have the guest limit as high as it is, half of the roller coasters would have literally nobody riding them. And half the park would just feel super empty. So that might be why I'm actually going to do that. Actually, let me do that now before I forget. Let's see. I haven't made any changes, so let's clean up all the toilets real quick. Blaze through this. Dismiss all of those. Hit pause. And let's do this. Sandbox settings. Apply. All right. And then we'll come down here. I won't have quite as good as of a thumbnail image because, oh, wait, no, I can still get the coaster on the track. Okay. So if I come right about here, should be good. Okay. Save park. Silverwood City. Save. All right. Now we're going to exit to main menu. Sorry to like completely... We were at a good stopping point. About halfway through the coasters, give or take. So this is about to start our first water park section. So it was a good stopping point. So now we're gonna go into Silverwood City, upload. That might be why too. The Frontier Workshop's been a little funky. Okay, I'll do that after stream. But that would definitely be why. I think. So it would also mean you can't load it up on console. So I definitely want to change that. So I'll just make sure not to save again. And then the version of the park that I have saved has it set with a 6,000 guest limit. So it should be a lot more user-friendly. Alrighty. And I'll also, like, do a fast forward to get rid of all the extra guests and stuff. Alright, so moving back to where we were. Boom. Lovely. Getting back... Oh, wait for the train to cross. And let's get going. I was gonna make, like, crossing gates for all the train crossings, but... Again, like I said, with the park crashing, trying to make that last restaurant, I was like, all right, maybe complex animatronics aren't it. So, you'll see, oh, right over here, I'll go ahead and show up these. There's some nice a little changing booth, and then also some park dryers as well. But we'll just skip right on up here to the Flume Station. So, pretty cool. I like the colors. Not to pat myself on the back, but... I like a lot of oranges, a lot of... Oh, shoot. Ah, damn it. Nice warm colors. So I guess we'll wait for these to get populated. Let's see. I'll ride this one first. And now let's do this. What's going to be the best? Chase, maybe? I think Wing. I think this will be the best camera view. All right. Woo! I think I was wrong. I was wrong about Wing being the best camera view. I think we should have done Chase. But at least you could see the effect. That's pretty exciting. Isn't it? I would say so. But we're gonna do this to just make the speeds go a little bit faster. Hold on. Chase. Okay. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting little family raft flume. And then this one, we'll go ahead and just... We'll do a first person. Actually, this one I think we'll want to ride from a guest perspective. But, perfect. And Chase. I do think I named all of these as well. I'll have to go through the names. Boom. Exciting, exciting. They don't have names. This one's called Inner Flume Platform 1 and Raft Flume 1. That's the amazing naming scheme we got going on. So, I'll come back. And to get back down to the ground, we'll do this. All right, here we go, gamers. Zoom. Oh, I forgot forgot to ride that one. Maybe. We'll just do this. So this is a double or single inner tube flume. Love a good bowl slide. So that is Slide Tower 1. Pretty exciting. Lots of fun little options. These are mainly like speed and wild ones. And then we got a lot more visually interesting ones on the other side of the park. But moving on from there, we'll go ahead and plop ourselves here. Pretend we went and dried off at the dryer, so that way we can move on to our next roller coaster, which is this big B&M floorless coaster called Storm Rider. And I'm pretty sure, pretty proud of how this little coaster sign came out. You can also, if we're quiet, you might be able to hear some thunder and rain sound effects that I added. So we'll walk right through the sign, as you do, as is the custom. And I like long queues through the woods, so that's what this one is. This is just a nice long walk through the woods with some nice close-ups of the coaster, which we'll actually get to see coming through here. Here it comes. Here it comes. Ready? Whoa. That's exciting. Doesn't that just build anticipation so well? And then up in here, you can see in the corners, I have some more ambient speakers for some more storm sound effects. I know the color scheme doesn't really fit storm, but I liked the color scheme and I didn't feel like changing it. So screw you if you don't like it. Oh, I'll disappear for this. What is this person doing with their hands? Did this guest break? I've never seen a guest do that with their hands. That was really funny. But that was Storm Rider. Pretty standard B&M floorless layout, but high intensity, lots of flips, nice and compact. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So we'll go ahead and move right on past there. We got a bit of a walk. I'm stuck. We got a bit of a walk ahead of us, so I'll go ahead and activate sprint mode. And we'll end with a train ride through. And then before I head out, I did a little offline update to the Crypt motorbike coaster that I want to definitely show off to you guys. That coaster looks so cool. The covered wagon train was such a good idea. It's perfect for like the front of the park as well. It sets the tone going into the It sets the theme and story of the park very well. Thank you, Char Char. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm very happy with how it came out. Ignore that floating light. You didn't see it. Oh, many of the tables connected to Restaurant Kitchen 1 are dirty. Well, if only all of my janitors weren't on this pathway with no restaurants on it. Oh, I hear the roller coaster. Oh, there it is. I blazed right past it. I love watching the coasters in this game. That's 90% of what my hours are. Dude, I have so many freaking janitors. I have an insane level of janitors. I'm not gonna go clean them. They should be doing their jobs. All right, Chad, what do you think? Do we want the Raven or Bobcat first? And I'll go ahead and show off the signs while you guys decide. I use the little grime pieces to kind of mimic tiger claws, like cat claws. And then we got the Raven over here, which is actually a falcon piece, but I just colored it black, and I think it works pretty well. Does anybody have any opinions? We don't have any opinions. I don't know how long the stream lag is, because as I said, I was having internet issues, but I'll give you guys a few. I'll let you guys keep this. Bobcat, save the best for last. The best coaster was Haunted Mine, or the Cursed Mine, so we've already done the best coaster. The last coaster will just be the one in the very back of the park, just because that's the easiest way to show them off. But we'll do Bobcat. I'm a big fan of Bobcat, so that is no, you'll get no qualms from me. Very great station as well. Very nice rustic theme with all the wooden beams and the lights. Very, very classic wooden coaster. Kind of almost evokes something you would see with like a lot of the wooden roller coasters you have in the woods. So I'll go ahead and disappear for this. And this is a wooden terrain coaster. Lots of twists, lots of turns, very close to the ground. Very fun. And boom. That is Bobcat. And I want it to be known, sorry, I'm gonna exit first person, but I want it to be known that if you come over here, this whole like wooden tunnel that I built for this final brake run, you can see it's at an angle. I did this before they updated the game and allowed you to tilt grid pieces. So this entire tunnel is made out of non-grid pieces, corrugated iron roof verandas placed individually by hand, angled right and tilted properly. So I just want that to be known. I spent a lot of time on that. But moving on from that, we'll move right across the midway over to Raven, the suspended looping coaster. And I think we'll just take the shortcut. Just in time. I thought we weren't gonna make it. I agree, Char Char. That's like, usually I would try to time the coasters a little better or get rid of a train so that it doesn't stop at the top of the chain lift. But I actually kind of like it with this park when it stops at the top of the chain lift. Gives you a minute to appreciate it. Boom. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Raven. Short, sweet, compact, to the point. Exactly how a compact Vekoma suspended looping coaster should be. Very, very fun. So now we get to walk through my favorite section of the park, just aesthetically. Oh, we'll come around this way. It's a bit quieter. See, we have a fun little flat ride there. And I don't see a train coming, so we'll go ahead and cross the tracks. But right over here, we got this lovely little eating area with just some nice food carts, some music, and then a little train depot. Oh, train coming through. Choo-choo! Very, very fun. Do I have... Okay, cool. I fixed on off. So I do want to show off this park at night a little bit, because this park is fully lit. So... Oh, perfect timing. Get to view the flying coaster. Beautiful. See it come off the mid-course there. Very, very fun. Very, very fun. Also, look at how dope this farmhouse is. This is a great, great image. And also, once again, all of the buildings in this park, all of them, are available on my Frontier Workshop. You can find a link to my Frontier Workshop page and also the share code for my creator page down in the link below. Or down in the description below. So definitely go check those out. If you see a station or a restaurant, you're like, ooh, that would work great in my park. Definitely go check it out. Hold on, let me show off the sign here. Great little view here. We'll move right through the queue. We got Fast Pass, baby. Perfect timing again. I know what you mean, Char Char, but I disagree because I wanted it to feel more like a real train, like a real cross-country railroad. So having it cross the path, and like that's something you see a lot in real theme parks as well. Like off the top of my head, I can think of at least 2 theme parks that I've been to that have the railroad going over the actual midway. And like I said, I wanted to put like railroad gates that were timed with the movement of the train, but this park just got way too... This park has way too many props in it, so if I tried to build those, the game would just crash. But I do agree. Any other situation, I would put it under or over. Especially because it's weird how guests just walk through the train. Great little view there. Perfect timing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Amber Waves. A lovely, lovely flying coaster that makes great use of this whole area, I would say. Got a nice little Enterprise flat ride there. And we're going to move on to our next slide tower. And this is the slide tower, in my opinion. All the slides are super dope. Great use of the terrain, the whole deal. Another train coming through. They're keeping busy. Ghost guests, yes. This is a take your life into your own hands kind of park. Oh, and also back here, a little secret entrance and exit. That way the front of the park isn't super crowded and choked up. Because you'll notice, let me just zoom out here one last time. If you come over here, you'll notice that, like, considering there's 8,100 people in this park, this whole front area isn't really that crowded. And that's because of this little secret guest spawner entrance exit back here. So a little tip for you, if the front midway, because that was an issue I had where this was literally full of people to where, like, people couldn't move. Added this little secret entrance exit back here in this little cave. Super unobtrusive. You can hide it in a building. Very easy to do. And it makes it to where the front of your park isn't super crowded and doesn't become a massive choke point. So, little park building tip for you. Pretty much all of my larger parks have a little secret back entrance. Like you'll notice the last park we showcased, the Tropical Islands Indoor Park, that one had another guest entrance and guest spawner at the back of the park as well. It's a little tip there. Love the lights and benches on the path. Thank you. I'm glad you mentioned the lights because you'll never guess this. You're never gonna guess this. But those lampposts are available on my Frontier Workshop page, linked and coded down in the description below. So if you like those lamps, you can put them in your own park. I have those, and I also have a Viking variant as well. So definitely go check those out. And you'll also notice I added a little extra prop light, so that way it actually casts light down onto the path, which you'll see when we do a nighttime fly through. I think I'll save the slide tower for last and just stick with coasters for now. So moving into this western town back here. This is supposed to be like a sort of thriving gold rush town or like resort town kind of vibe. So you got a lot of, while the front of the park was a lot of wooden buildings, these ones you got a lot of brick, a lot of balconies, and they're a lot taller as well. So we've got this lovely little restaurant back in there. And then also up here, this is one of my favorite designs. It's this little restaurant, and I need to work on the interior a bit more. But if you come back here, you can go upstairs, and it actually has a whole second floor and a whole little, you can eat out here on the balcony, which is what I recommend, because this is where the views, you can watch the trains coming in and out of the station here, watch people loading and unloading, and then also just watch them walk through the park. So very fun little restaurant here, and this again is on the Frontier Workshop. So we'll moving on through here. We'll just phase through the wall. Back here, this is the last coaster in the park. Everybody sad face, sad face. By what do you mean by this? The building, all of the buildings are, and they're all individual buildings. So like this building that I'm looking at right here, this is available on the Frontier Workshop. This 2-story restaurant's available. This dark wood building, and also these brick buildings over here, these three are grouped together in one row. And then you can also, the entire park is also on the workshop, which I need to update it because as JP pointed out earlier in the stream, since I have the guest capacity upped because of how big the park is. It's a little hard for people to load, so I need to put up a version with a 6,000 guest limit. But moving back here, this is the last roller coaster. It's a wooden hybrid RMC coaster called Crimson Peak. No thematic relation to the Guillermo del Toro movie, but it was named after the Guillermo del Toro movie. So we'll go ahead and hop right on. This coaster is another one that has a problem of being a little too fast, but I can't find it in my heart to add trims unless there's like a G-force issue. And the G-forces on this ride were all good, despite it looking a little too fast. But I'll disappear for this. As I said, definitely a little too fast, but I like when an RMC feels out of control. Boom. Non-stop. That's what you want in an RMC. Non-stop. Start to finish. Flies into the final brake run. Doesn't let up the momentum throughout. And then, of course, down here, we got this another lovely little photo booth. Hold on, let's see if we can see our pictures. I think they'll load up next. There we go. Where's the front? There we are. Right there in the blue shirt. You can see us. That's fun. Anyway. I do want to show off. We'll come down here to the end. And we'll just show off. Look at this. I'm very happy with how the custom support structure came out, but I want to watch a cycle go through. So we'll just fast forward real quick. Did it break down? Did it break down? Ah, there it goes. There it goes. It goes over the overbanked. Here it comes. Zoom. And it hangs you there. It hangs you there. So, unfortunately, that was the last roller coaster in the park. But don't go anywhere, because now we've got... Oops. We've got these bad boys up here. It looks like this is about to go. So we'll start with Raft Flume 1. Very creative naming scheme. But you can see... goes all the way down here, and we'll give it a little bit of a chase action. Whoa. Very fun. Very fun, if I do say so myself. Right next door is Double Inner Tube Flume 1, which we will hop right on and also give this some chase action. You really get your money's worth with this one. Sploosh. Right back into the pool. So I'm very happy with how this one came out. And also, this glass tube right here is pretty diabolical. We get C1 coming pretty high off the ground, but also offers great views of this lake back here. And also, one thing I really love about this park that was one of the goals from design conception is like this town back here feels completely separated from the rest of the park. That's one of the reasons I wanted this train to feel so realistic, quote unquote, is because I wanted it to feel like you were literally traveling to a different location, but still within the same park. So like back here, it's almost completely separated from the rest. Like you can see the Sky Swing ride, and you can see the Cursed Mine kind of poking up there, and then obviously Bobcat. But for the most part, like it feels totally isolated. And then you come across the mountains, and you've got the Cursed Mine town over here, like a whole bunch of areas. So I'm very happy with how separate this feels. The illusion of the train ride, I think works. But we got one last water slide to ride, gamers, and then we'll move on to, I think we want to be in red. And we'll move on to we'll do a train ride, and then we'll do a night fly through as well. And then I'll show you the updates I made on the Crypt motorbike coaster. Oh, they're pulling ahead. I love how the sound's glitching out. Sploosh. Very, very fun. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Silverwood City. Full walkthrough. We'll give a nice little view from the top up here of this whole area. And we'll do a loop on the train as it's getting sunset time. I think I will change the fixed sun. Set it to noon. That way we have better lighting for the train ride. And we'll just hop right on here. And I think we'll do... It's going to be the best. I don't think orbit. Can I? Okay, yeah. I think this will probably be the best way to view it. It'll give us the least obstructed views. And I'll disappear. If you look to your left, you can see Amber Waves, our premier flying coaster. It was built in 2014 as part of the Farmlands expansion, which we are now driving through as well. Also, I'm now realizing that this camera angle's a little bit too low, so I guess we will just be... Oops. I guess we'll be will be guest number 2. That way you can actually see over top of the fences as we're moving through. Over to our right is Bobcat. I think Gravity Group would be the closest. The Gravity Group wooden coaster. Right next to it is Raven, our compact Vekoma SLC. Gotta honk the horn as we enter the tunnel. Moving out of the tunnel, if you look to our right, you'll get beautiful sweeping views of your passenger's head until I move into seat 1. Nope. Oops. Oops. Seat 1. Nope. Seat 1. Beautiful views of the rest of the park, looking out over top. We are now passing underneath Mountaineer, our premier hydraulic launch coaster. Launches you at speeds of 0 to 105 miles an hour in 2.3 seconds. One of the strongest launches in the world. Spanning over 8,000 feet of track, it is also one of the longest roller coasters in the country. It is the longest roller coaster in the country. You look to your right, you might get some more views of the park through the trees and the rocks, and also more views of the Mountaineer coaster. Oh, what a treat! We got a cycle that I totally missed because I was moving the camera. Do we get a launch? Do we get to see a launch? Hold on, just in case we get a launch, I'm moving to seat 4. Oh. No! Just missed it. Oh well, maybe next time, folks. Moving back to seat 1. You look to your right, you can see the first water park section. And also great views of the lake. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are now stopping at... Please remain seated until the ride comes to a complete stop. I was trying to think of how to do the message in Spanish because that was going to be a really funny bit. And for the life of me, I could not fucking think of the word for remain seated. Looking to the right, you'll see Gold Rush, our Intamin Blitz coaster. One of our most recent additions. It was the most recent major roller coaster addition to the park. Seat 4. Looking to our left, you can see The Cursed Mine. 5-time Golden Ticket Award winner for best theming on a roller coaster. An innovative Axis thrill coaster, it is the only one of its kind on the planet. Over to our right, peeking above the tree lines, you can see Storm Runner, our B&M floorless coaster. Constructed in 1996, originally as a stand-up coaster, it was converted to a floorless model in 2013. If you look out over the cliffsides to our right, you will see Crimson Peak. It's an RMC hybrid coaster built from the ground up in 2019, our second most recent thrill edition. Now arriving at... Please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop and enjoy the rest of your day at Silverwood City. What do you think, gamers? Pretty epic scenic tour, if I do say so myself. And thus ends our walkthrough of Silverwood City. But we're not quite done yet, because to end it off, I do want to show you guys, I spent a lot of time making sure this park was properly lit for nighttime activities. So we'll go ahead and just flip it to night, let all the lights load up, and go ahead and show you. Hold on, lighting's still kind of fixing around. You can go ahead and see what I mean. All of these lampposts, one of the things I did, if you look, I added one of these little aquatic floor lights. Again, just to cast some extra light on the paths here. You can see without it, there isn't much actual light cast. So that just kind of helps it out a little bit. Moving over here, you can see the lighting for Nimbus. All of the signs are pretty well lit. I want to find those... Oh, I forgot to lit Gold Rush. All right. Oh, well. But you can also see the mine carts for the Cursed Mine are all lit. Voice crack. This coaster... I like to have at least one coaster, like, fully lit all the way through, just because I think it's cool. But it does get quite complicated, especially, like, getting the lights in the right spot while still being, like, connected to everything. But here we go. So yeah, you can see the lamppost designs that I have actually cast a really nice amount of light. And also because of the placement of the fill light, or I guess like the key light, it doesn't really look super off, at least not in my opinion. Like, I think if you're just like moving through it, you can't really tell too much. So I think it's a very nice, unobtrusive way to just kind of add to that. But all of the towns look pretty hype at night, so I'm very happy. You can also see I also went through and lit at least the major features of Crimson Peak to give it a nice highlight going on. And also just some nice practical lights all up on there. So anyway, gamers, that is Crimson Peak, that's the fucking roller coaster. That is Silverwood City. It's been 8 months in the making, and I would say it was 8 months pretty well spent. I think it came out very, very nice, all things considered. All of the major sections feel very cohesive. It has a nice theme running throughout, good storyline behind it. So I will end with this. Don't go anywhere, because I do have more construction updates to give you guys before I leave. But I just want to remind you guys one more time, if you want to explore Silverwood City yourself, take it at your own pace, ride the rides a bit more on a PC that, I mean, I'm sure a lot of the POVs are going to be a lot nicer without the bit rate of the live stream, especially with how many things my PC is trying to run at the same time. So I highly recommend you download the park, explore it at your own pace, go check it out. You can find that linked in the description. And then also linked in the description is my Frontier Workshop creator page. Definitely go check that out. All of the buildings, not just in this park, but all of the buildings from all of the parks that I've built and showcased on stream, you can find all those on my Frontier Workshop. So if you are watching any one of our streams, you see a building you like, definitely go check that out there. And I also build stuff off stream. So every now and then I'll throw up a design that you guys have never seen before. Spoiler alert, I'm working on a national park themed theme park right now. So some of my more recent uploads are some rustic themed buildings. So if you have been looking for some rustic designs, definitely go check that out. So with that whole spiel out of the way, I do want to load up, let's see here, Farmland Fiasco, our pumpkin patch park. So I did some offline little finagling that I want to show off. And we'll end with a nice POV of our Crypt motorbike coaster. So if you missed the POV of the fully themed Crypt motorbike coaster from last stream, now's your chance. And then tomorrow we'll be back to working on the pumpkin patch theme I think what we're gonna do, or what I'm gonna do mainly, is work on the water park. You can see there's a lot of blank spaces that need filled, so that's probably gonna be my main focus, is building restaurants and stuff, and then probably like one or two more coasters over here. Um, but I'll let it load. You can see over here our crypt coaster. Uh, it's I'm very happy with how it came out. It's a very dynamic coaster throughout, very well themed. I think it looks super cool, and it's also very well sectioned off from like the rest of the park. But you may be asking, like, yeah, we've seen all that. We saw the buildings on Wednesday. What's different about it? Well, what's different about it is if I hit this and then hit this, let it go for a while, you'll notice. What's that? Oh, there's all these colors. That's right. Your boy went and lit this coaster. So now this ride has a fully dynamic night ride that is different and distinct from the daytime ride through. So since if you want the daytime POV, go check out the end of last stream. We ended stream with a daytime POV of this ride. Since I already did that, I won't do another daytime POV, but I mainly want to just show off the actual night ride now that that's already. And then another thing that I did to the crypt coaster is I added actual light props inside the headlights here, so that the motorbike headlights actually cast light now. Just a nice little visual flair to that. Oops, spoilers. So, and we're gonna ride motorbike because I prefer to be in the motorbike seat. And boom. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Crypt Motorbike Coaster. Name probably subject to change, but I think I'll probably call it Crypt Keeper's Curse. Actually, I'm gonna name it that now. I like that name. Crypt Keeper's Curse. All right. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the nighttime POV of Crypt Keeper's Curse. I'm very, very happy with how this roller coaster came out. Especially because, like, I didn't really have a plan going into it. A lot of the theming elements, I was just, like, throwing down props and kind of being like, yeah, let's just create near misses and then figure it out later. So I'm pretty happy with how this came out. But with all of that said, gamers, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I certainly did. I have been waiting to show off this park for so freaking long. Like I said, 8 months in the making, and the past like 3 months have pretty much just been like minor touches, like like weird dead space that needed to be filled with either like a restaurant, throwing in an extra family coaster because there was a weird gap in the lineup. Doing lighting, adding props, adding the roller coaster signs. So it's been a long time coming. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. I won't give the whole Frontier Workshop spiel, but just a reminder, everything's linked down in the description below. Definitely go check those out. And tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be back with more Planet Coaster 2. We're going to be working on our Pumpkin Patch Park, which you guys just saw a preview of. Probably working on some restaurants, some theming, some buildings. So it should be a lot of fun. You're definitely going to want to come check that out. And the best way to make sure you don't miss any of our... Friday night as well, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Definitely don't miss this. This is the exciting part. Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time is part 2 of our Dead Island co-op playthrough. If you missed Friday night's stream, definitely go check that out. It was a lot of fun. Me, Danny, David, and Maya are playing through Dead Island together. Huge fun. I bought a costume. I'm playing as Xian Mei, the knife girl. And so I bought a costume that I'm going to be wearing every stream. So you're definitely going to want to come see that. A lot of fun. And that is, again, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And the best way to make sure you don't miss any of the streams or any of the exciting things we got coming up is, of course, to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I go live. Every time I upload a new video, I'm live 4 times a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. typically Eastern Time. And I post a new video every Monday. This past Monday was Red Dead Online with JDM Blackout Mason, one of our mods. Definitely go check that out. Really fun time. Good video. Had a lot of fun. And this upcoming week is going to be Zomboid Van Life Part 3. Not going to want to miss that one either. Definitely make sure you check those out. Make sure you like the videos, like the streams, like the shorts. Help them do well the algorithm. Helps them get seen by more people. Helps the channel grow. And I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night. And I'll catch you guys all on the next stream. Stay sponge, gamers.